Alright guys, in the follow-up now we get to the finishing up of the project, installing the project. But before doing anything, let us go through the structure that we have designed and analyze it online and see what we have done and how it works. Of course, I need to add a div here. So let's add one. I add a div here. Okay, and so as you see, based on this structure, now this div is connected to this one, the second div is connected to the container, and over here, as you see, this one. Okay, now it is alright. I delete these spaces to have the body here. Okay, and HTML. Alright, that's the HTML, the body. Okay, and finally this part, I want to add another item over here. Okay, we want to use the Google Fonts, that is in the phone section. We want to use the API Googles. I have prepared it already. I just need to make a copy paste. I use the 600 and 700 Open Sans fonts online. These numbers 600, 700 and 800 show the width and boldness of the characters. For instance, if here I write 700 and 800, it shows the certain boldness. But in order to get the API Google Fonts, we need to do an initial registration, and through the Google API font that you have here, it tells you how these fonts are. Now in order to open it, I hold the control button. My mouse's cursor is on this link over here, and if you pay attention to the link, it occurs as tooltip. I just need to hold control and connect to the page. Okay, and like this, I hit click and I am directed to here. These are all the Google fonts that you see in front of you that have been shown to me through the fonts dash face, and they have been shown to me by some parameters. This is the font family name, the style is normal, the weight, the boldness is 600, is what is the source. This is the source, or SRC, which is short for source in programming codes. And this is the URL, WFF2, and the centered fonts have TTF or EOT and WOFF suffixes, and use them to support their fonts. And here we have a complete list of the fonts that I want to use on my project. But we go back to the structure of the project and we want to complete the CSS file. Here I need to do a little something. Here I need to, if you pay attention, we had an extension called LiveScript. We don't have that extension over here on the lower part. In order to have it, we need to add the project folder to the Explorer on here in Visual Studio Code to activate the live server for ourselves in Visual Studio Code. Alright, if you pay attention, now I have the go live here. I have set the file of those items inside it, and easily I can open my browser by clicking on the live server and be able to see the section live as I go along. By clicking, we would have such an item. Now the content of our operation looks like this at this moment. We have defined a container, have a white background, and the buttons are like this. Now imagine what the differences are between the final project and this one. So we need to improve the appearances using the CSS and other part of JavaScript. So we need to write the CSS codes together. So I open the CSS file first in order to have the new background as we had it on the project. What should we do to have the same background as the final result? We work on the body section. I open the style.css. I want the background to be like this, and after this I am going to take care of the container and other essential parts. Well, this is the item that we are working on, and this is the final project, so I need to add the final blue background or the final blue color to it. Okay, a point here that needs to be mentioned: in order to get the color code, I need to hit the F12 button. My Google developer would open and I would be able to see the color code. Alright, here if I click on the select element right here, the color code would be shown to me. I just need to double click. Let me load the project, go back over here. Okay, here I hit F12. Yeah, I am looking for this code that is in the body tag that is set here. I want this color code. I enter the color code by double clicking, do the copying, and finally go back to here. Well, in the style.css file, I type body, okay, B-O-D-W, sorry, B-O-D-Y, open close bracket, and of course this needs to be set over here. Okay, body. Alright, let me see if I have written it. Okay, body. Yeah, I said this before. This one, in order to know which one is where, I say background color. From here I get the code that I wrote, the sharp sign, and from this here, that's up to now. Let me have the two pictures so that we know how we are approaching our project. Okay, as you see here, now we can see the details much better. I set the background color and color that I want here. Now let's go to the container of my developing project. Alright guys, here I need to write the container is our space. We are going to use the calculator. I copy this, and over here, in order to get the ID, I need to use the word sharp calculator, open close bracket here. I need to give it a width. The width equals 320. Okay. And finally, height equals 120. Very well, that's 120. That's up to now. I just need to reload now. It happens like this. Alright, that's up to now. I say my background color equals this hexadecimal code. The space that I give is 0, and it is done automatically, or auto. I just need to reload this again. Well, it shouldn't be like this. The white space that I have here, I just close it once more and reload it again, and again dispose, and here again I add go live. Well, now it is working. Well, so the white space that we have here, now I need to add these inside it one by one, and finally we have a shadow here. You see the dark color here, we have a shadow. We need to pass this to it, so let's do that. I say I give it a little height. I say top equals 70 pixels. Okay, and position, I pass the relative to it, and as you see, relative is the relative position. In this relative position, we can set the position using the direction up, down, left, and right. Okay, that's it. And as you see, we have a position called absolute, that is, we set it at a certain unchanging place, and we set the item there. Okay, that's up to now. The next item that we are going to deal with is this one. We have a border radius here, the round corners that we have in the border are border radiuses. Here we say border, okay, border dash radius. I say